Hello, everybody. This is Brother Speak. Yes, I'm on camera for once. I know, scary, but don't turn away yet. I know my face is scary, but I am a black man. So, well, I just got off of a panel with the Ebony Star Network. Shouts out to Max and the crew over there. Talked to Max, Aaron Collins, Abania, and talking about uh, there was a 7-year-old black girl that got shot and killed with her father in the car, and he's critically injured. And we were talking about why black men are doing this and why it's not changing anything. And I was also talking about I was thinking about this. Well, wasn't thinking about this, but I was thinking about what happened with Black Rob. He passed away recently, and condolences to the family. But I was thinking about the fact that how he was only 52, but he was having all these health issues, lupus. He was battling lupus. He had kidney issues, and that runs in my family as well. Diabetes run in my family. Not with my mother. My mother didn't have diabetes, neither did my father, but my mother and father both had heart issues. On my cousin's side, they have kidney issues, and part of the thing we try to understand is why, and a lot of this going to link. Recently we were talking about why these boys, young boys, are doing this now, shooting everybody. And the one thing I tend to see is that it's this overly focus on females, vagina, and getting the bag. Whether you're going out chasing hoes, you're trying to get a relationship with a woman, you married, or you know long term relationship with a woman. What tends to happen is a lot of males tend not to focus on their health, not just the physical, but the mental, emotional, and even spiritual. We tend to focus more on the women in our lives, whether you're chasing vagina or you're actually in a relationship with a woman. We focus more on the children, which, focus on the children is the thing we should be doing, focus on the future. But we don't tend to focus on our own health. Like, take for me example. I mean, you're looking at me right now, you're saying, this dude's a big dude. And like, yes, I am. And I recently had to go to the doctor because I had a little health scare. I had a food poisoning. They thinking I had COVID. Now, good news for me, I didn't have COVID, but there was a lot of things that were happening with my health that I had to go run to the doctor, and doctor say, "Yeah, you got some issues going on. Nothing too serious. The only thing was the blood pressure and my weight." But it took that to get me to go to the doctor, and plus I had a lot of knee issues. But it took that to go to the doctor. A lot of black males tend not to go to the doctor. If we're not in pain, or even if it's like minimal pain, like even for myself, you know, I was telling the doctor when I went to him, I'm like, yeah, I was having some pain. It was really bad, but I didn't take no pills. So you didn't take no aspirin or nothing like that? I said, no, I don't like pills. So that's I don't even take Tylenol, really. unless I have a fever, and even then, it depends on the fever. If it's real high, yeah, I'm gonna take something. But other than that, no, I'm not taking. I don't take pills. But the thing of it is, with us, we don't focus on our health. We're not taught to focus on our health. Well, we're taught to, lift weights, get in the gym, but we're not taught how to eat. We're not put around nutritionist food. We're just eating to survive. You know, a lot of us ate Roman noodles. We be loving Roman noodles. I know my oldest brother loved Roman noodles. That- I'm like, that shit's too salty. I can't eat that. I can't eat it, bro. But he loved them Roman noodles, and that's and Roman noodles. You know how much salt in those things? When you actually read the salt intake, the sodium in there, terrible. Now my issue was Popeyes, which I had to cut. I'm like, can't eat it no more. Just can't do it. But a lot of us black males do not focus on our health. Where diabetes run rampant, it is prostate cancer, heart disease. All these things run rampant in the community, particularly males are suffering. And it's because we don't really focus on their health. I mean, me, except for this time, the last time I seen the doctor was like 7 years ago. The previous doctor that I had, I was gonna go back maybe a year ago. And they were like, well, you need to register as a new patient. I said, register as a new patient? I've seen her before. Well, you haven't been here in like 5 years. Over 5 years, we don't consider you a patient anymore. So it goes back to not taking care of our health, not putting our health as a priority. We'll put vagina as a priority, put our wives, girlfriends, children, job, hobbies. We'll put that ahead of our health. And our mental health, physical health. I mean, these guys are so confused now. If a woman turns them down, they want to shoot the woman. Why? Because they don't care about themselves. They don't love themselves. That's because look, woman tell me no. It is what it is. But a lot of these guys do not care about themselves. They don't love themselves. They don't take their health into consideration. They don't take their mental health into consideration. Not even their spiritual health, emotional health. It's on the back burner because what we're chasing, vagina and the money. And I would say we chase more of the vagina than the money. I mean, look at what we're doing just for female attention. I've seen dudes go out of their way on YouTube panels trying to get some chick attention. Either yell at her, flirting, overly flirting. I seen there there was a panel I saw. This chick is just blasting men, particularly black men, but they blasting men. And you got dudes going on the panel trying to convince her, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. And I'm watching this with my popcorn. Well, not my popcorn. What was I? What was I eating that day? No, I was fixing on a PlayStation 4. I'm fixing on my PlayStation 4, looking at this debacle, and I'm like, these dudes don't care about themselves. You got like I talked about in my last video, which I got a copyright claim. because of my theme song. I've been using that theme song for a bunch of my videos. But as soon as I start talking about somebody important, like a Kid Cudi or a Derrick Jackson, now all of a sudden copyright claim. Well, you can't monetize it. I'm like, dude, I ain't trying to make money off of YouTube, so I don't give a fuck. Still gonna use the theme till I get tired of it, and then I'm gonna use another theme. So that you can kiss my ass with that copyright claim. But beside all that, the thing of it is, black men don't care about themselves. They don't, because I wouldn't even shoot in a car with children in there. Just on the simple fact, I could go to jail, or that person can come blast me and my family. But these dudes do not care. They're not taught to care. They're coming from these broken homes. They're not taught proper nutrition. Probably not even getting good meals anyway. Add to society where they're pushing fast food down your throat. Pushing fast food down your throat. They're pushing you to drink and smoke. Nothing healthy. You try to talk about something healthy, I mean, nobody's going to pay attention to you. Oh, it's too much. Oh, it's this. And, you know, health is important. And I don't think a lot of guys really focus on that because they're not taught to focus on it. They're taught to lift weights. They're taught to, you know, do things that will make them stronger, at least look stronger, so you can impress the females. But actual health, actual being healthy physically, mentally, emotionally, they're not taught that. That's why you have a lot of these depression so high. Why? Because they're taught to be focused on the females, getting female attention, and getting the bag. That's it. And I mean, if you look at the manosphere right now, the black manosphere, a lot of these feuds, it's over females. Which female to deal with? You don't want to deal with a single mother. You don't want to be married to a woman. You be nice to a woman. You will see him. No, you're not see him. No, you gotta be a pimp. No, you gotta let women, dudes sleep with their women. They so backwards out of the place, but it's coming back from they're not focused on themselves. They're not focused on their health. Black Rob had lupus, kidney issues, and you know it came from not paying attention to his health. Now the lupus thing could be genetic, but the kidney issues that probably could have been genetic too. But if you don't take the time and actually go to a doctor and actually find that out, then it comes back to bite you. You know, high blood pressure. A lot of us have high blood pressure. I work in a prison, and one of the big things that I see every time these guys get their blood, their blood pressure taken, it's high. It's like the bottom number in the 90s. That's more like average. Like see somebody with a 130 over 90. That's like the doctors don't even blink at it. They don't because it's so average. A lot of them are taking blood pressure medicine. They're taking some kind of medicine. I seen a dude, he got like a handful of pills. I'm looking at, but that goes back to not focus on their health. They're living to survive. They're not living to actually live long lives. They just living day by day. And then they going for female attention. They putting them above themselves, aka putting them on a pedestal. I try to as best I could on Max's channel panel to explain it. At least I try to do it as the best way I can. And it goes back to again, well, you're putting females ahead of themselves. They're not focusing on their health, their mental health, their emotional health. So then, and you add to a society that is telling you you're not shit unless you have a woman. The woman is your better half. You ain't shit if you don't have one. And then, like I said, this is where all this jealousy, this anger comes from. Instead of telling men to focus on themselves, there's a big feud against masculinity right now. And who's the one getting the arrows? Black men. Because most other people wanted to act black because that symbol of masculinity was not really with white men. Now it was with black men. So it's been attacked. Like guys are afraid to even be masculine. I think you see a lot of dudes are being effeminate. A lot of dudes being Tigos or being uh, the GAYs. A lot of that is from not valuing themselves as masculine men. They're running from it because they're not taught. They taught that that's a negative instead of it being a positive. And that goes into your health too. Because if you're not worried about, if you don't love yourself, you're not worried about your health. You ain't worried about your mental health, your emotional health. If you're all you care about is the females, and when I talk about that, somebody's going to say, "Oh, you just want to be a gay or you suspect." No, everything has to be in balance. It has to be balanced because if there's no balance, you're going too far one side or too far the other side. They're too yourself, and then there's the other way where they're so sick of it now they're demonizing them and trying to put burying them under their heels. There's no balance. So if you have no balance, this is what you have now. So that's why you got a lot of guys who's unhealthy right now. They're mentally unhealthy, physically unhealthy. They're just ticking time bombs. And you're gonna have more guys like Black Rob just in terrible shape. And he was only 50, I want to say 52. 52. Considering the conditions they had, they were way too young. But guys are developing heart issues in as early in their 20s because there's no focus on health. They're stressed out. They're trying to live up a dream of some of these rappers out here. And even these rappers ain't happy. I mean, let's look at Lil Wayne for a minute. I mean, the dude nearly died like maybe one or two times because he's drinking that lean. And just look how he looking now. I mean, Rick Frost before he changed his health, I mean, he nearly died. it's 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 not everything's not put in perspective. Guys are not focusing on themselves. They focus more on getting female attention, and then they worry about what other guys are thinking of them. They can't even get with a woman because they worry about what some other dude gonna think about you with that particular woman. I'm like, that's fucking insane to me. Oh, she got a hard body count, and what that got to do with me? You even have dudes who will get on another dude, tell him, "Oh, your woman was a hoe. I used to sleep with her all the time." Bro, what that got to do with me? Well, I thought you should know. No, what? Instead of instead of valuing themselves. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. My tongue is just like blah blah. But valuing themselves and be like, look, I'm gonna prove myself for me and whatever people around me. But it's going to be for me because I got a lineage if I want to have children. I got a legacy to protect. I got my wealth to protect because at the end of the day, you got to be valuing yourself. And a lot of guys don't do that. They're not taught to do that. They're taught to chase all these hoes, get married, have these children, but not really focus on themselves. And I think that mindset needs to change. Because if we're going to change a lot of this stuff that's going on with these these guys attacking everybody, killing them, killing the kids, killing the women, that one thing is to focus on their health, their mental health, physical health, emotional health, even their spiritual health. Because a lot of males right now are running from the church. Some of it for good reason. Because there's a lot of shit happening in the church that it's just terrible right now. And these guys don't have nowhere to go. That's why you have like a Black Manosphere. That's why it's being the Igmores, the Red Pill, the Manosphere, the main Manosphere. They're running to these organizations because they don't have nothing for Black men to talk about their issues, their health, their mental health, their emotional health. You you talk to a Black man about mental health, he looking at you like you insane. You talking about going to therapy, they think you weak as fuck. Which shouldn't be the case. I'm not saying you have to cry on your shoulder or nothing like that. That would be kind of weird to me having a man crying on my shoulder. I'm like, I, I'm like, I'd be like, how do I deal with this? I don't know. And I'm not talking about some dude who's the gay. I'm talking about just a regular dude, but he's breaking down in front of you because something happened. Maybe his wife left him, maybe his kids died, or maybe something happened that's catastrophic, and he's just crying, and you're like, okay, what do I do with this? I don't know what to do with this. I don't. A lot of these guys don't have that. They don't have that. A lot of these young boys don't have that now. The senators that used to do that, they don't have it no more. So if we're going to fix a lot of these issues, we gotta start with men's health first. There's a lot of things that is going against our health as men. It's a lot of outside stresses, There's a society right now that keep telling you to focus on other things other than yourself. If we don't focus on ourselves and get that in order, there's nothing you can do for the community. There's nothing that you can do for the women. You can't do nothing for your children. If anything, if you're not really focusing on your health, then your bad health goes to your children. I think a lot of these children right now, they're coming from fathers who weren't healthy to begin with. Now I know Max on the other. Why these guys are acting like this? Why these guys are insane? Because a lot of these dudes, their mind's not right. They were poisoned even before they were born. They're coming from poisoned males who didn't care about their health. Their mind was messed up even before then, and that passed down to the children. One of the things is these a lot of dudes are crack babies, and those chemicals, you think that end with that person? Just like a lot of diseases, it's passed to children. That stuff is passed to the children as well, and they're growing up now. They're insane, and you don't really monitor them. This is what you got right now. So if black men are going to really focus and really change the outcome of themselves, then it's time to focus on themselves. I'll give you one story before I get out of here. When I met my ex, and it's one of those funny stories about, I really wasn't even focused on getting women or anything like. I was just focused on my health, getting my health straight. I was going to the gym every day, getting stronger, losing weight. I think I was at my lowest weight before I got into a teenager. That's when I met my ex, and that's when I got married and all that stuff. But I wasn't even focused on getting women. I was focused on myself. If the women came, they came. That's just what it was. I was focused on my health, focused on getting myself straight. I was focused on becoming a teacher. It didn't work out, but I was at the time focusing on becoming a teacher. I was focused on myself. I was focused on women, focused on getting for myself. So then once I got that, then get the woman, all that kind of stuff. But I was focused on myself, get myself order. And I don't think a lot of dudes do that. Your health is important. Your mental health, your physical, emotional, your mental health, your physical health, emotional health, your spiritual health. All that is important. And you have to focus on that in order to be an effective man. If you don't, you out of there. And you'll be looking back 10, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years later, looking at just what the hell did I do with my life? Or you're in a goddamn hospital bed, just waiting to die, hoping that someone take care of you. That's what happened to Black Rob. He was hoping someone would take care of him. Now somebody was having a GoFundMe for him, but way too late. He died. And that's not uncommon. I see a lot of homeless dudes Black guys, homeless. Look like life has kicked them in the ass. They were focused on everything else but themselves. And I know some people are gonna be like, well, that the individual was the reason why the black community fell off. No. The reason why it fell off because they forgot about dealing with themselves. They put everything above themselves. Women, the money, being with other groups of people. They didn't focus on themselves, improving themselves, networking with themselves, and building something for themselves. Add to that integration, drugs, hip hop, and you have a situation now that a lot of guys are not focused on themselves and they're taking it out on everybody. They don't love themselves. They don't care for themselves. They don't respect themselves. Their health is just not there. And either they're depressed, suicide for black men is going up. I mean, it's still nowhere near white counterparts, but it's going up. Depression is going up. Obesity going up. All these health issues, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, all these things is prevalent in our community. I know we're talking about black women, dude. We're not too far behind. Don't let these football players and basketball players fool you. That's not all of us. And until we really start focusing on ourselves and focusing on our health and stop falling over ourselves for females. I don't care what female, black female, white female, all these different females running over there. If you don't focus on yourself, man, I mean, it don't matter what female you get with. You're gonna be no good to them no way, and then you're just gonna be used. And now you're angry. Now you're bitter. Now you want to go attack every dude. Now you want to call dudes a simp because they just actually care about black women, which is insane to me. Or you care about what dudes do with their money, tricking and shit. I never care what dude do with a woman. It's not, don't bother me. He getting his women. Hey, it is what it is. He can get a lot of women. Great, not my problem. I'm cool. I was cool with my ex till that went south. But that's life. And to be fair, I'm still I'm still cool with my ex now. She calls me from time to time, trying to check on me. I'm just checking on you. You don't call. You need. I'm like, I'm alive. I'm fine. I get busy, work and all that kind of stuff. Again, at work and trying to take care of the people, I was taking care of my mother, and I wasn't focused on my health. So my health suffered. Again, you got black men. Let's be realistic. You got to focus on your health because if you don't, I mean, all these other stuff is for naught. How you gonna enjoy? Let's just say you want to get married and have children. How you gonna enjoy it if you can't even run after your own child? Either because your knees are fucked up, your heart can't take it, can't even have sex no more because you can't get enough blood flow to your penis, and you taking all these Viagra. What- I mean, what's the point of you focusing on females and money all the time? You can't even live to enjoy it. You you chase all that, and what you end up in a hospital bed, hoping someone take care of you, or you end up in the street hoping someone will give you a place to stay. What's the point? Black men, we gotta focus on our health. Stop being unhealthy. You're not gonna do anybody any good. You can't fix it. If you want to fix a community, I'm not saying you should. That's not my call. But you want to have the choice. You can't have the choice if you're unhealthy. You can't make clear decisions if you're unhealthy. And I'm not just talking about the mental, physical, mental, all that. If you're not healthy, you can't make any choices. You at the whim of someone else. You're at the whim of your desires. And that's no way to live. You see what happened to you when you at the whim of your own desires. You get destroyed by them. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank y'all for listening. And at the end of the day, black men, take care of yourself. If you need help, you need to get healthy. Go to someone. Go to a doctor. Go to a therapist. You're not seeking outside help for something if you cannot find it within yourself. It's not a bad thing. But don't try to seek it from a woman. Because a lot of women, I hate to say it, they're kind of in the same boat. So you need somebody who's a therapist, someone who get paid to take care of you. A black therapist, if possible. Black doctor. A respected man in the community to really talk to you, sit you down, and have that conversation with you. Don't look to some of these dudes in the manosphere. Don't look to these dudes online. They're not looking out for you. They want you to stay on that carousel chasing vagina, thinking about vagina, angry at vagina. Meanwhile, your health is just in the toilet. Don't be like that. Go get the help you need. Focus on your health. Focus on your mental health, your emotional health, your psychological health, your spiritual health. Focus on yourself. Make sure you're straight. Then you can worry about the world. That's it. This is Brother Speak. I'm out. Y'all have a good one.